There is some positive news in the issue of humanitarian aid being delivered to Gaza, which was explained by Colonel Elad Goren yesterday. At the moment, there are multiple international organizations currently delivering aid, and chief of those is the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, which provides food, shelter, medical care, and so on. The World Food Programme, the WFP, the World Health Organization supplies medical aid and support. There's non-governmental organizations like the Médecins Sans Frontières that is active in Gaza, the International Rescue Committee, the IRC, delivering food, water, emergency supplies, and now the World Jewish Relief, which is beginning to provide aid to Gaza and continues to offer trauma relief across Israel. They've assured the Jewish community that donates money particularly to them that their aid will not be directed to Hamas combatants but will go to Gaza civilians, as stated by Colonel Elad Goren, head of civil affairs at COGAT, that's the coordinator of government activities in the territories, which oversees humanitarian aid to Gaza. The challenges in the delivery of aid are the restricted access which is permitted. The Israeli authorities have limited the entry of aid, allowing only a fraction of the needed supplies. For instance, an average of 159 trucks per day have been entering Gaza, far below the needed 500 trucks. The security concerns, depending on who is delivering the aid deliveries are often delayed or blocked because of security and the complex vetting process for goods entering Gaza, and essential supplies are regularly blocked. Critical items such as medical equipment, generators, water filtration systems are frequently rejected and delayed at the border, severely impacting humanitarian efforts. The international community, including UN agencies and NGOs, has called for more aid routes. The gates around Gaza should be opened to allow a continuous and sufficient flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza, and to allow the sick and the dying to be taken into Israel, into proper hospitals where they can be treated with humanitarian care. A ceasefire, of course, but a ceasefire which is part of a believable peace deal, and which opens up the discussions for a two-state solution. And clearer guidelines need to be in place. These measures are crucial to address the dire humanitarian need. The World Jewish Relief Organization understands the complex ecosystem in which the authorities are operating. On the one hand, having had colleagues killed and kidnapped on the 7th of October, and on the other hand, being responsible for ensuring the sort of humanitarian assistance which is an essential part of the traditional Jewish response to humanitarian problems, and you know, to have restricted that over the last 6 months is fundamentally wrong. So there's something to be praised in having this organisation active again. The chief executive, Paul Anticone, explained that that they are now going in with the explicit encouragement and approval of Colonel Goren and the Israeli authorities, and they're going to target support to partners already active in Gaza, deliver life-saving material, infant health care, particularly to mothers and babies. And they'll be working on this project alongside the International Medical Corps, a US-based global humanitarian responder. And they will also be delivering support to Israelis, which indeed the IMC has already been doing to Palestinians in Gaza with the support of COGAT. And the funding for this project has been provided by a small number of private donors, but at the same time, I think the World Jewish Relief is now inviting people to donate support and to ensure that its tradition of proudly standing shoulder to shoulder with communities in crisis continues. For 91 years, it's had that tradition, and I think it's really important that it now follows through and supports the Jewish community and the neighbours of the Israeli community who have been so affected by the belligerence and pugilism of the current Israeli Prime Minister and his war cabinet that is today disbanded, and with critical comments about the proposed daily ceasefire along the route through Gaza. So the war cabinet is disbanded, but the war is clearly far from finished. We need to encourage Israel to get round the table and start discussing a two-state solution and peace, not a ceasefire, not a pause, but peace.